Hello there! In this video we're going to learn the difference between overal and overall, with double L in Dutch, of course. So the story goes, one of my students said in a lesson, well, overal werkte ze goed. And grammatically, it's correct, and even in the meaning of the sentence, well, yeah, it still can be correct, but I know that that student meant something different. So let's take a look at overal and overall. Overal with one L is the contrary of nergens. Overal means everywhere, and nergens means nowhere. So overal with one L, which adds a bit of difficulties when you're listening to people saying overall. You don't know whether it's with one L or two L's. So it's even a little bit more difficult. One example is ik wil overal werken. I want to work everywhere, with one L. All right. Now, overal with two L's also exists in Dutch, but in this meaning. That is an overall also in English. It's a jumpsuit. It's a piece of clothing. That's an overall. And that's also an overall in Dutch. But this is the only use in Dutch. There are no other uses for overall with two L's. So an example, vergeet je overal niet. Don't forget your overall, or don't forget your jumpsuit. That's an example with overall with two L's. Now, overall, as in global or globally, can be used as an adjective or standing alone. For example, my overall goal is to have two jobs. Right? So my overall goal, there it's an adjective. Or overall, I'm happy. Then it's a standalone. Globally seen, I'm happy. All right? And this has two different ways to translate. So as an adjective or as a standalone overall. First, let's take a look at the adjective. For example, the English sentence, the overall image of that company is good. So the global image of that company is good. Well, how do you translate it in Dutch? Well, like this. Het algemene imago van dat bedrijf is goed. So it's algemeen as an adjective. Simply algemeen. Not overall. That's the jumpsuit or that's the everywhere. No, algemeen. There are some alternatives, and one of the alternatives is geheel. Het gehele imago van dat bedrijf is goed. Or het globale imago van dat bedrijf is goed. And these two have also slightly different connotations. Gehele means whole, so the whole image of the company. And globale, same as in English, the global image. But, you can use all three of them to translate the overall image. But remember, algemene, not overall. So, how do you translate it as a standalone noun? So, overall, she worked well. And that's what my students wanted to say. And that students translated it as overall, werkte ze goed. But that student meant, in het algemeen werkte ze goed. So, in het algemeen is the translation of overall when it stands alone. And not overal werkte ze goed. Because overal werkte ze goed, that means everywhere she worked well. And that's not what my student meant. She meant in het algemeen werkte ze goed. In general, overall, she worked Also, in general, it's a synonym, and you do not use in generaal or something. No, it means in het algemeen, not in general. All right, hope that helped. If you have any other issue, feel free to write it in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.